It's hard to believe that it's been 4 years since the reveal of Project Sonic 2017, aka Sonic Forces, aka mediocrity. But this has me thinking about the next game, as we all have been. It's been a while since the last mainline Sonic game. Where's the new one, you know? Where's the new Sonic game? We've all been curious to see it. But I think we might kind of, in a way, be in a really dodgy situation here, because we're on the verge of a whole new console generation, and this is when the next Sonic game is going to come out in 2021, the next big year of Sonic. There's a multitude of reasons I actually say this, but let's get on to the first things. So if Sega are going to have to be working with new hardware, being the PS5 and the Xbox Series X, that's going to cost them probably more money than the PS4. And how they've been selling these games at $40 with Sonic Forces, Team Sonic Racing, and Sonic Mania was at an even lower price than that, do you think they can get away with that this time if they're having to invest even more money into these new consoles? And if that's the case, are people willing to buy a product for $60 if it's just as short as Sonic Forces, or would the game receive crazy critique, lots of flack, and lesser sales? So to me, I feel like this gives Sega the only option of having to make this game a bigger budget title, meaning they're going to have to invest quite a lot of money into it, and if the game flops, that's going to have a bad effect on their company, and it might even, you know, kill the series entirely. Okay, maybe it won't kill the series, but it wouldn't be great, and it wouldn't give fans much confidence in Sega as a company anymore, especially with Sonic the Hedgehog. So we're stuck in a scenario that is probably all or nothing. We're either not getting new games on the PS5 or Xbox Series X, or we're getting a massive blowout, big budget, shiny new graphics, all of that, $60 Sonic games that could be fantastic or could be detrimental to the series. And then another issue that we have is the Nintendo Switch. So if Sega's going to want to make as much money from this game as humanly possible, especially if they're putting in a massive budget, they're going to want to put it on as much consoles as humanly possible. Now tell me this, how the hell are they going to port a game from the PS5 onto the Nintendo Switch without making the PS5 version worse? Because that sounds like a monumental task to deal with, and I don't see it as being possible. I reckon if it's going to happen, it's going to have to be a PS5 and Xbox Series X exclusive, meaning they're officially losing money by putting more budget into their game. If they don't do that, then their only other option is to put the game on the PS4 and Xbox One and the Switch, making it a last-gen game, which is definitely not as enticing as a new-gen game, as a current or will-be current-gen game next year. So what are they really gonna do here? Next-gen, big budget, or last-gen, low-budget, $40 game? These, I think, are the two options that we can get. And I think that's a bad scenario to be in. If we had already had more than one last-gen mainline Sonic game, I don't count Sonic Mania, I count that as more like a Sonic Advance and a Sonic Rush type game. It complements the main series, but you could argue that it is main series, but that's not the point here. My point here is if they release Sonic Forces earlier than 2017 onto the PS4 and Xbox One, then we wouldn't be in this current issue where they're gonna have to decide, go big or go home. They're gonna have to take a massive risk here, a really big risk, and that could fall on them, that could completely fail. Because they're having to work with PS5 and Xbox One hardware for the first ever time. They're gonna have to bring out way higher quality assets, which is gonna take more rendering time, more budget, probably gonna have to do more advanced programming as well for these new consoles, so overall, even if they wanted to make it $40, they'd be pushing it. They'd be really pushing it, man, because they have to learn new stuff. And this all just kind of terrifies me a bit, you know, because if we seriously have waited this long and we're getting last-gen games, who's going to be happy with that? They're probably going to get a lot of shit. It could still be decent, but if they're doing last-gen and everyone's already caught up on current-gen, then they're definitely not going to do a $60 full AAA type game. They're probably going to keep it budget at $40, meaning we've waited yet another 4 years for a $40 budget game. And that is not what I want from this series anymore. Especially with the Sonic the Hedgehog movie, we should be getting way bigger projects than this, man. We should be getting way bigger projects than Sonic Forces, Sonic Mania. But these games like Sonic Unleashed, and I would even argue Sonic Generations was a big budget game, and is still my favourite Sonic game to date. And the issue here is that if they've been working on this game, supposedly, for a few years now, did they even have the Xbox Series X hardware? Did they have the PS5 hardware? Do they know what they're working with? Or are they going to shove it on last gen? And you could tell me it's not the biggest issue in the world, their back was compatible, that is true. But how impressive would it be if they actually had a next gen Sonic game that looked the part, was a big scale game? It could revitalize the series again. It could bring the series right back. It could really complement the Sonic the Hedgehog movie really, really well. But it's a massive risk of failure. They shove in their role, they did it with Sonic Boom, and it almost killed the whole fucking series. If they shove in crap to the budget here, then it could fail. If they put in no budget at all, then they're gonna get criticism from the fans like me, from the hardcore fan base, and probably from even outsider people as well. They are in such a tight situation right now, I feel. And if they don't nail it, then Jesus Christ, man. Because people will tell you, oh, but they've already got the engine. They've already got the engine. Dude, that's it. They only have to focus on the game. What's to stop them from making a new engine? What's to stop them from, oh shit, the Hedgehog Engine 2 isn't compatible with the PS5 and Xbox Series X. We're gonna have to make a new engine. Hedgehog Engine 3. What's to stop that from happening? Seriously, tell me why. How could that not happen? I think there's a million excuses they could come up with as to why this next game might possibly be shit. If it turns out shit, there'll just be new reasons as to why it's not so great. Just like the reasons for Sonic Forces was they were making the Hedgehog Engine 2, which honestly is not fair. I would not cut them slack because they made an engine, because it was poor management at the end of the day. They spent way too long on the engine and not enough time on the game. They spent way too much time conceptualizing the game. They spent way less time executing the full development. Why was the development cycle so much lower than the design phase? So all I'm saying is that the next game has a pretty high risk of really fucking up. They're in a hard place. We shouldn't give them credit because they're working on an engine. We shouldn't cut them slack on anything. They screwed up last time. Sonic Forces was a game we waited 4 years for, and they fucked it. We should not be cutting them any slack for that. We should be putting them to high standards. It's Sonic the Hedgehog. Come on. This is a big franchise name. We shouldn't be just, oh, it was fine. Oh, Team Sonic Racing, it was a fun kart racer. Sonic Forces, at least it's not Sonic 06, right? No, I've been really iffy and salty on the franchise lately, and I'm just at a point at this current moment in time where I don't give a shit. I'm not gonna let them get away with mediocrity. I'm not just gonna give it a pass because it's not the worst thing on planet Earth. No, if this game is not good, I'm going to call them out because I care about these games. I want these games to be good, and I'm not just gonna sit at the side and let them continue being shit. They've got to learn from feedback. They've got to up their development. They've got to give us bigger budget stuff. They've got to market more. They've just got to give us more quality products, because the moment we get more quality products is the moment Sonic becomes active again, becomes more alive, becomes more relevant, and suddenly he's a big name like Crash Bandicoot was. Man, oh my god, because I always bring up the Crash Bandicoot comparison. How did Crash come back with one game, and that's it? That's everything I've got to see. If other franchises like Crash Bandicoot can come back with one single game and be bigger than Sonic the Hedgehog, then why the fuck can't Sonic come back with a big game, promote it well, could be amazing, the Sonic movie was successful, Sonic still is relevant, Sonic still can be a big household name, they just need to treat the franchise right. The movie is proof, that is the entire proof of this. Without the movie, I'd be convinced that Sonic was just beyond redeemable. I would just believe that he's an irrelevant franchise and he always will be. But the movie really proved me wrong. So, do something, Sega, please. Just prove us wrong. Prove people like me wrong. Bring out a game that is just fucking fantastic in every single way. Can't argue against it. Yeah, it'll have some flaws, as every game does, but this is a fucking quality product. We are Sega. We are delivering this. We are confident in this product. Give us something like that. Please. There is nothing more I want right now than a Sonic the Hedgehog game that proves me wrong with how good it is. That is it. That's all I want. Please. Please, please, please. So, that's everything I've got to say. If you agree with me or disagree with me, because conversation and discussion is good even if we disagree with each other, let me know in the comments below, because I know I'm going to get a crap ton of flack for this, saying I'm just a hater, wait for the new game, be patient, you don't know the next game's going to be bad, blah blah, blah blah blah. Same things I've heard for years and years, starting with Sonic Forces, which is a game I got a shit ton of critique for, and the game ended up being mediocre. What a surprise. So, thank you all for watching, I'll catch you in the next one, let me know what you think, and that's it. Sonic, please come back, and if you don't, then I'm ditching the franchise, sorry. So, peace out, my dudes.